Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Denison Sports Network. My name is Craig Hicks. Today I am joined by Ashley Yearwood and Ben Lewis, two All-American swimmers and divers from the Big Red, and we are going to preview the NCAC Championship, which is coming up on February 10th. And we also are going to talk a little bit, since we've got you two here in a room, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about your respective careers at Denison. Time sure does fly after 4 years. Ashley, we'll start here with you. And we look at both teams, both the men and the women's programs have won 8 straight conference championships. Is there a little bit of added pressure as those years build up to keep defending that crown?
I think so. One of the things that I noticed about last year was this senior class talking about how they didn't want to be the first class to lose our streak. So it's definitely something that's in the back of our minds, but I think we're more focused on just going out there and doing the best that we can with who we have.
Well, you're in the thick of it right now. Who really seems to be peaking on this team right now? Can you give me some names?
Yeah, from the last couple of meets, a lot of standout swims have happened. Mary Van Leuven last meet had a really good time in her 100 free. There's always Campbell Costley and Taylor Johns who swim really well in the distance events. Carolyn Kane, Kate Wright's coming up in events that she hasn't really swam this year. But I think there's going to be a lot of surprises from people who don't have standout swims in dual meets. I think a lot of people are just waiting for that big swim for conference.
All right, and as we flip over to diving, Ben, can you just talk to me a little bit about where your squad's at as we head into the championship season of nationals and conference?
Yeah, well, I'm really impressed with how much each individual diver has progressed in their training this season. I'm just seeing a lot of new dives from everybody, a lot stepping up degree of difficulty, and we're seeing people doing some really special things in our competitions as well, in our dual meets and at Miami in December. Yeah, really excited about where we are heading into conference. Most everybody has gotten those regional qualifying scores, and those who haven't have a real chance of getting those at the conference meet.
And we kind of swing back to the tradition thing. One number that I found, your women's team has not finished worse than 7th place over the last 30 years. So what is it about that tradition of excellence, and what's it like to help maintain that program here at Denison?
Yeah, one of the things that we talk about in our goals at the beginning of the year is we want to obviously we want to win nationals, but our goals are we want to come in the top 3. And since I've been here, we've come 4th 1 year. But I think it's just being a part of Denison and that history and knowing what the people in the past have done for this program kind of motivates you to do the best that you can and just hope for the places that we've been getting.
And Ben, back to diving, it's a little bit more of a recent tradition, I would say. You were our first national champion during your freshman year. We've had some excellent divers before you. Is this legacy something that you think about right now as a senior?
Yeah, I definitely think about it. I think about the people who have come before me and really made a huge impact on how I think about the diving program here at Denison. I think back to before I was even at Denison in 2011, how Gabe Dixon and Cody Smith were such a big part of the men's team winning that first national championship. And that's just something that I think about, and I think about how important the divers are to this program. And yeah, in terms of legacy, that's something Greg talks about a lot, and I think he talks to us a lot about that as seniors and how we sort of need to be selfless and think about what we're doing, how that's going to impact the future of the program.
That's great. Now, Ashley, for some of you that don't know, you're from Bermuda. We had a nice moment at Senior Day. We played the Bermuda National Anthem before the Star Spangled Banner. I thought that was kind of cool, a nice touch on Senior Day. Can you just tell everybody, how does someone from Bermuda end up at Denison?
I get that question a lot. It's not as weird when you hear that I went to boarding school in Tennessee, so I was in the States, so it wasn't that big of a change, but Denison sent me a letter and I decided to come on a recruiting trip here. and I met Greg, and he was one of the nicest but like biggest people I'd ever met in my entire life. And I just fell in love with the campus, the program, and the new facility that wasn't done yet. So.
Yeah, that's a good transition because you're the first class to come through and spend all 4 years in the Trumbull Aquatic Center. You didn't have to spend any time in Gregory. What's it been like to train and dive in that facility?
We're really spoiled, basically. Yeah, I think we're very lucky, and we take it for granted sometimes. But it's just such an amazing, it was a huge draw for me coming to Denison, absolutely. Just consistently everyday training in just a really new and state-of-the-art facility. It's it aids in our training a lot in ways we don't even realize.
Well, thank you both very much for coming out today and sitting down for this preview. And we want to remind everybody that the NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships will be at Denison February 10th through the 13th. And if you can't make it to Granville, we will be streaming both morning preliminaries and the nightly finals online live at DenisonBigRed.com. So for Ben Lewis and Ashley Yearwood, I'm Craig Hicks. Thanks, and go Big Red.